Hi everyone. This is the voice behind the noise. And I am Myron. In this world, there is a country called the Cemetery of Empires, and it is Afghanistan. From ancient times to the present, from Alexander the Great to Genghis Khan, from the British Empire to the United States, Afghanistan has experienced almost all the invasions of major powers in history, but they have stood firm and dragged the other side down. The most typical representative is the Soviet Union. So, you might ask, why have almost all major powers invaded Afghanistan? Why can Afghanistan bury them all? Today, we will talk about this matter from a geopolitical point of view. First of all, we must understand two important issues. First, there must be a strategic buffer zone between any big country and another big country. The small countries around a big country will either be neutral or turn to itself, otherwise there will be endless disasters. For a big country, the surrounding small countries will not pose much threat to itself. However, once this small country is backed by another big country, then the situation is completely different. Another big country can support the small country to drag you into the quagmire of war and constantly consume your strength. It is for this reason that the Monroe Doctrine was born. The so-called Monroe Doctrine was proposed by the fifth President of the United States, and its core is, European powers should no longer colonize the Americas, or get involved in matters related to the sovereignty of the United States and American countries. Otherwise, the United States will regard it as an act of hostility. To put it simply, the Monroe Doctrine means that a great power will never allow other great powers to interfere with their own affairs. During the Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union almost had a nuclear war in order to prevent each other from reaching their side. During the US-Soviet arms race and the fierce struggle for world hegemony, the US had the idea of using nuclear bombs 4 times. On the brink of these 4 nuclear wars, only the Cuban Missile Crisis was the most imminent. Never before has a crisis been so thrilling. The cause of the incident is, the United States deployed missiles in West Germany, Italy and Turkey beside the Soviet Union, so the Soviet Union also deployed 6 medium-range missile bases, with nuclear warheads, in Cuba beside the United States. In order to get the Soviet Union to withdraw its missiles from Cuba, the United States kept threatening the Soviet Union and Cuba. If it did not withdraw, the United States would launch a nuclear war. Faced with the threat of the United States, the Cubans took an extremely tough attitude and resolutely did not agree to withdraw the missiles. At the time, Fidel Castro said, "Am I ready to use nuclear weapons? Yes, I will agree to use it. Because no matter what, we take nuclear war for granted, and we will all disappear. We are prepared to fight to the end to defend our homeland before the country is occupied." However, Khrushchev of the USSR was afraid. Faced with Khrushchev's retreat, the Cubans were extremely angry. Guevara, Cuba's leader at the time, said angrily, "The Americans want to destroy our bodies, but Khrushchev's retreat destroys our spirits." At that time, China's chairman Mao also severely criticized the Soviet Union's retreat in the Cuban Missile Crisis, saying that Khrushchev degenerated from opportunism to capitulationism. In the end, Khrushchev withdrew the missiles from Cuba, and the United States won the final victory. By the way, the Monroe Doctrine didn't just happen during the Cold War, it's happening today. In 2019, the United States threatened to use force against Venezuela, Russia provided military assistance to Venezuela, and China provided material assistance to Venezuela. There are many more such examples. For example, the essence of the Korean War and the Vietnam War is that China does not allow the United States to directly touch China's forces and threaten China's national security. For example, the Ukrainian War and the Georgia War are also because the United States wants to deploy military forces directly to Russia's side, and Russia has to start wars. Therefore, for a small country, you can conflict with the big country around you, but you must not introduce the military power of other big countries, otherwise war will definitely come. Afghanistan is that extremely important strategic buffer. Any major power that wants to occupy it, the surrounding powers will join in to stop it. The second issue is that, even if modern weapons are very powerful, they cannot completely conquer nature, let alone the combination of human and nature. Many people think that the weapons of modern warfare are very advanced, and the terrain can no longer affect the direction of the war. This is totally a misread. Can your missile be more advanced and powerful enough to blow up a mountain? Even if you can blow up one mountain, you can blow up 2, 3. Even if you can blow up them all, do you know how much it will cost you? Just take a look at this mountain in the picture. If you are far away, the cannon's range is not enough. If you are close, the angle of the cannon is not enough. It has been 3 hours after you catch up to the top of the mountain, and the other side has already climbed another mountain. Some people may say, bombing with planes? When the plane arrives, the other side has already hid in the woods or caves. How many missiles do you have to bombard randomly every day? How much is the fuel bill? Maybe someone else said, I can occupy this hill with the support of the plane, so that other armed forces can't pose a threat. Well, in my opinion, people who say this have never seen what a real mountain looks like. Do you know how many people it takes to occupy such a mountainous area like this? How many supplies do so many people need? How to ship it up? How much does it cost? When you occupied, I was among the common people. When you evacuated, I would touch the hill again and harass you constantly. How much energy and money can you afford? Therefore, even if today's weapons are extremely advanced, there is still no way to take mountain countries. Afghanistan is a typical country like it, easy to defend and difficult to attack. After understanding these two knowledge, it is easy to understand the two questions at the beginning of the video. What are the answers? Okay, we will reveal it next time.